NFL fans, welcome back to a brand new episode of the J All Day NFL Show. We got Week 13 Picks with Scores Thanksgiving edition coming up for you guys today. I'm going to break down all three games on Thanksgiving. We're going to give you scores, predictions, and thoughts about all of these games. Man, oh man, in Week 12, we dominated 12 wins and 2 losses. We're on a 30-13 heater over the last 3 weeks. We're crushing it, and our bets absolutely dominated, guys. We killed Vegas with my best bets video. Make sure you check those out every week, guys. I placed 4 bets, all 4 of them cash. We are crushing it. If you want more sports betting tips, check out my memberships in the link down below. Let's get into these Thanksgiving games. Let's go! All right, all my NFL fans, we're only 10 subscribers away from 28,000. So if you could do me a solid, smash that like button, blast the hype button, and subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 28,000. And guys, you really got to watch my videos in the entirety, right? Because there are some games when there's injuries that are game time decisions that I have to kind of go one way, and then if something changes right before game time, we shift. Like last week, I told everyone with the Steelers and Bears game. I picked the Steelers thinking that Aaron Rodgers was going to play. But at the end of that clip, I said, if Aaron Rodgers does not play, we're going to go with the Bears. So make sure you watch this video till the end to get all the information you need to know about your picks each and every week. Let's kick things off with this Packers and Lions game preview. Here we go, guys. Power rank overall, according to PFF, they got the Packers 3rd and the Lions coming in 5th. Defense 9th for the Packers and 10th for the Lions. How any metric could have the Lions as the 10th best defense blows my mind. Sometimes these advanced metrics are a bunch of shit, and you gotta use your eyes and have these teams pass the eye test, right? Because there's no way on planet Earth that this Lions defense is a top 10 unit. Not even close. Power ranks offensively 5th and 6th. And listen, after Tucker Kraft went down for the Green Bay Packers, this offense just has not been the same. Josh Jacobs is not 100% either, right? So we got to take that into consideration, right? Both of these teams run the ball 43% of the time and pass the ball 56.9%. It's identical. That's crazy. The pass and run metrics are really insane when you look at both of these teams and how they're structured. PFF grade so far this season, Love at 83 and Goff at 71. Passer rating, clean pockets about the same. Passer rating under pressure, Goff is a little bit better. Jordan Love really struggles being under pressure for sure. And turnover-worthy plays, Jordan Love is about double where Jared Goff is, guys. So take that into consideration if you're going to put some bets on this game. Right now, the Lions are minus 2.5 point favorites. And I'm kind of leaning that way. I do like the Lions and the points. And because it's Thanksgiving, guys, I'm not going to give any fancy, little flyers and, score presentations and little images. I'm just going to give it to you straight. I got to get to my family, as do you. So I'm going to keep these things as quick as possible this week, right? But I just like the Lions in this spot in general. We're going to go over some of these matchups that are going to determine where this game is right now, right? So the Packers are banged up, man. Tucker Kraft being on IR is a huge bummer, and we got Cooper Van Ness and Nixon all questionable, as well as Jacobs and Zach Tom. Some of their best players just aren't 100% in this game. As we flip over to the Lions, Penny Sewell being questionable, that's a bummer. Sam Laporta is done for the year. We've definitely seen this offense in the passing aspects of it slow down a little bit without Laporta being out there. And they got some offensive linemen banged up with Tate Ratledge and Decker banged up, right? Both of these teams are not 100%, right? But, man, I do like the way this offense for the Lions is functioning right now, man. If we take a look at this Lions football team, they are a dominant unit. We'll take a look. We'll bring this over to team and go line them up versus the Packers and see where they look like matchup-wise here with the Packers on defense. Nixon and Valentine have actually been pretty decent so far at the cornerback spot for the Packers, right? The Packers are playing decent defense, right? And Micah Parsons is doing Micah Parsons' thing, 91.8 overall grade by PFF. Can this defense slow down this high-powered offense? Jahmyr Gibbs went out of his mind last week, and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams are pretty damn good. Right at the tight end position is just not the same guy that Sam Laporta is, but we'll see if they can integrate him into the offense. They're definitely not going to run much 12 personnel, which is 2 tight ends. Moving forward, in my opinion, it'll be a lot of 11 personnel. So, But this is a really interesting spot. I think this game is going to be determined on whether or not Gibbs can get cooking for the Detroit Lions. The offense for the Packers has been pretty mediocre if we flip things over to the other side of the ball, right? Points scored, they're right in the middle of the league at 263. That ranks 15th, right? We're going to go over to this lineup selection, and then we're going to go to team. We're going to bring that over to the Detroit Lions and get this all cooking for us here, guys. Yep. Hutchinson's doing Hutchinson things, right? Really, really impressive all year long, but not getting a lot of juice out of the rest of this D-line. They're okay at the linebacker spot, but the cornerback spots, Terry and Arnold's been pretty awful. DJ Reed's actually been pretty decent, but man, the last couple of weeks, this defense can't stop anything, man. They're getting shredded. But if we flip things over to the Green Bay Packers offensive side of the football, right? The wide receivers have been okay. They really need Josh Jacobs to be healthy. And the offensive line outside of Zach Tom has been pretty wildly mediocre, right? But this matchup is going to be huge. Will they line up Hutchinson consistently on this side of the ball? Or are they going to move him around the formation a little bit to get a better matchup off of Zach Tom, right? So it looks like Hutchinson was on the right side in base defense and on the left side of the defense, looking at it from an offensive perspective, right? Defensively, that's left over here and right over here, right? So they got to mix it up a little bit. They want to get Muhammad involved. He's been pretty good so far this year, but they got to get some pressure on Jordan Love. As we've seen in those metrics, under pressure, he's just not the same guy. And over the last several weeks, Jordan Love has just been pretty okay. I don't know. Sometimes these advanced metrics, when you look at them game by game, it's just not, I don't know. I like looking at metrics, but I'm not a beholder of them. The eye test, you got to pass the eye test for sure. And Jordan Love has not done that for me consistently. Losing Tucker Kraft is a huge deal for the Green Bay Packers. Can this offense recover with a guy like Matthew Golden taking up some of those catches in the middle of the field? They need to get him going, right? And that matchup with the slot, Amik Robertson versus Matthew Golden, is going to be a huge matchup there in this game. And is Josh Jacobs 100%? We'll have to see what he looks like early on in this game versus a very beatable Detroit Lions defense, right? So, who do I ultimately think wins this game? I'm going to roll with the Detroit Lions to get a W here at home. The defense has let me down over the last couple of weeks. They just haven't been playing good football against very, very mediocre football teams. And that's definitely a concern of mine moving forward against this team. Giving up 27 points to a Giants team that was without so many of their good players. No Jackson Dart, no Malik Neighbors, no Cam Scatterbo, and they're still giving up 27 to a mediocre Giants offense, right? I don't love that for sure. But I do think over time Dan Campbell is going to get this team settled down, and I just love the explosiveness of this offense. I think they do enough. I think it's going to be close, but the 2.5 points, I like it. I'm going 27-24. Detroit Lions get it done at home and cover the 2.5 point spread. Next up, we got the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Two teams both coming off big-time wins in must-win spots. Dallas Cowboys continue to struggle defensively. They gave up 3 touchdowns to the Eagles on the first 3 drives, but really settled down the rest of the game and didn't allow any points in the second half. Eagles offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo has no idea. He doesn't know an offense from a hole in his ass. The dude is clueless. It's hard to watch, man. It's really, really pathetic, to be completely honest. All right, back to this Chiefs-Cowboys game here in Arlington, Texas at Jerry's World. Chiefs -3. Mahomes had the best game of this season last week, threw over 300 yards. He looked really, 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 really good. PFF has the Chiefs as the second ranking power rank. Seems a little high in my opinion, but actually they're outscoring last year's team significantly. I think they were scoring 22 points a game last year. It's up to 27 points per game this year. So that's really impressive. But they're losing one-score games when last year they were winning them. Dallas Cowboys, I still don't think their defense is very good. And CeeDee Lamb, the drops continue to be a problem. Pickens has been great. And the run game has definitely slowed down a little bit there for the Dallas Cowboys, guys. Sorry, I got some dog hair floating around my face. So, Patrick Mahomes, 75 grade. Dak Prescott, 87.7 overall grade. Big time throw percentage, 3.75 for Mahomes, 4.47 for Dak, right? Turnover worthy plays. Mahomes at 3%, one of the higher percentages of his career. But passer rating under pressure. Dak Prescott is significantly better this year than Mahomes has been under pressure. But with Rashee Rice coming back, Pacheco is set to return as well. And I think this is the first time all year long that this offense has all its skill position players ready to rock and roll. And for that reason, I think the Dallas Cowboys could be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. -3 is the spread. Money line coming in at -178. So, taking a look at where the money's coming in at, right? So, a lot of money percentages coming in on the Cowboys at +3 at 69%, right? But money line markets are coming in heavy on the Chiefs. Mixed reviews there. Most bettors have no idea what they're doing, but the J All Day Show, we dominate bets each and every week. So check out my memberships if you want to see all my bets. 4 of my best bets last week, all cash. Jaguars money line, Jaguars Lions parlay, Chiefs Pats parlay, and a teaser with the Seahawks Lions Chiefs. 4 bets for my best bets. All 4 of them cash. We're freaking dominating. And today, this video is brought to you by Underdog, guys. Underdog has been a great partner, and they're so much fun. You guys got to check out the app. Higher and lower fantasy football. It's so much fun. 2 or more of your favorite players to get in the game. Higher on yards, higher on touchdowns, whatever, completions, interceptions, all the fun stats. And it's not just football. You could play and mix and match sports. That's what makes Underdog leaps and bounds above all the other fantasy football apps out there, guys. You guys got to check out this promo from Underdog for the J All Day community. $5 entry, you get $100 in free bonus entries if you use my promo code J All Day. I'll leave a link for that in the description down below. Now let's break down this Chiefs Cowboys game here in Jerry's World. We're going to go over some matchups that I think are going to be very, very, very interesting for figuring out who the hell is going to win this game, right? Dallas Cowboys kind of in a must-win situation here, right? They got to win. Same with the Chiefs. Both of these teams got their, dug themselves a little bit of a hole here. Got to dig their asses out of it, right? The Cowboys secondary has been atrocious all year long. The safeties, the corners, and the run defense has been even worse somehow. But with Quinnen Williams in the middle of this front seven, they've been a lot better. And Kenny Clark has just been okay. He's been on a downward trajectory for years now. In the beginning of his career, Kenny Clark was really, really, really talented. And, at 30 years of age, he's definitely playing like a guy on the wrong side of the age gap there. But for the Chiefs, I think they dominate offensively. I think the Chiefs, if you want to do a team total over, I think that's a good play here bet-wise. But Rashee Rice has been so dominant. Kelsey's getting in the game as well. Josh Simmons has been great as a rookie now that he's back. after his little hiatus there, and Worthy's been really good. And getting Pacheco back, I think, is going to be great for this offense to mix things up with the other backs that the Chiefs have. Sorry about all that sawing, guys. They're putting up a new apartment complex right next door. It's a big pain in the balls, but it is what it is. I just think this Chiefs offense has so many ways to win. They have advantages with Kelsey against these linebackers, Pacheco in the flat versus the linebackers, and wide receiver-wise, these matchups, who's going to cover Rashee Rice? They don't have anyone on this defense that can keep up with Worthy with the deep shots down the field. I think the Cowboys are in deep doo-doo with covering the Kansas City Chiefs there for sure. So we're going to go over to the Dallas Cowboys and see how they match up versus this Chiefs defense led by Chris Jones. We're going to go to nickel, get this out of the team on team, go down to the Kansas City Chiefs here, guys, and then we're going to get rocking and rolling for all you Jay All Day fans out there. And thank you guys so much for being a part of this community. If you want more NFL content, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would really mean a lot to me. Closing in on 28K. I want that 30K by Christmas. Let's mother effing go. The Chiefs defense has been okay. Struggling against the run a little bit. We're going to put this in nickel. Cornerbacks have been pretty solid, led by McDuffie, who I really like. Chris Jones having one of his worst seasons as an NFL superstar, right? Karlaftis has been pretty good. But this offensive line for the Cowboys, not great. So you got to get after Dak Prescott. Put them in down and distance of over 8 yards, and then you could beat this team. Pickens has been unbelievable. Jake Ferguson has regressed. CeeDee Lamb's been okay. Sometimes he looks incredible, and then other times he has balls that he needs to catch that he can't catch. Dak has been really great. I think the over's in play here. I think this is going to be a really close game. But I just think Spagnuolo and Andy Reid and this Chiefs team, the Cowboys are going to have to score over 30 to win. Straight up. And I don't think they do it. And that's why I'm going with the Chiefs. 30-26. Your Kansas City Chiefs win again in Jerry's world versus the Dallas Cowboys. Let's be honest. The Eagles kind of squandered that game versus the Cowboys. 21-point lead. Saquon Barkley, big fumble. Gibson, the punt returner, big fumble. Jake Elliott missing kicks that gave the Cowboys really good field position at like the 45-yard line where they were able to, put a 45-yard drive together and score a touchdown, right, was the difference in that game. And just bad coaching. Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni just not doing a great job coaching that Philadelphia Eagles team. But let's tip our caps to the Dallas Cowboys that stayed in the game, stayed focused, and got a big W that kind of saved their season. Or if they would have lost that game, their season would have been over. But with that win versus Philadelphia, they're still in the mix. But going with the Chiefs, 30-26. Or did I say 24? Whatever. 30-26, 30-24. It doesn't matter what the score is. Chiefs, get it done. Now, let's move on to a very interesting game here. Bengals at the Ravens. The line is at 7. Give me the Bengals and the fucking points all day. Joe Burrow is set to make his return. And this Ravens team did not look like a good football team last week versus the Jets at all. Lamar Jackson, 67 overall grade. Derrick Henry, I think he might be cooked, dude, like a Christmas goose. Doesn't look good at all. I don't know what the hell's going on with Trey Hendrickson. He's missed 4 weeks and they don't put him on IR. I don't know what the hell's going on there. And remember, no Shamar Stewart. It looks like Joe Burrow is going to return. But remember, T. Higgins had that really bad concussion. He's probably going to miss several weeks. But Jamar Chase, he's back in the spot after spitting on Jalen Ramsey. Gross. All right. If we take a look at the bets coming in percentage, the advantage is definitely taking the Bengals and the points. And I like that for sure. I think the Bengals are in play for teasers as well this week. But money line bet, 93% of the betting lines are coming in on the Ravens. I might have to take the Bengals, man. Really interesting spot there for sure. Okay. If we take a look at the Ravens, they barely, 23 points versus the Jets, 23 points versus the Browns. I mean, they're not scoring a ton of points. And they've had a murderer's row of easy-ass games. The Dolphins are trash, the Vikings are trash, the Browns are trash, and the Jets are ass. They haven't really faced a good offense or quarterback since maybe Caleb Williams and Matt Stafford, right? Caleb Williams has definitely impressed me this season, but Tua sucks, JJ's terrible, Dylan Gabriel is ass, and Tyrod Taylor is a freaking bum backup. So this is the first time they're going to face an elite quarterback in quite some time, guys, for sure. So if we take a look at some of these matchups here, this Bengals team has been really awful to watch all year long, both on offense and on defense. Pathetic. This defense is pathetic. The offensive line is horrific. So Joe Burrow is going to have to get the ball out quick, right? Is Kyle Hamilton going to play? Right, we got to keep our eye on the injury report there. I'm going to go real quick. I want to see if he's questionable in this spot. If we click on the Ravens, because he did get banged up a little bit in that game, but he's not coming up on the injury list, so he looks like he's going to be good to go for sure. If we look at the Ravens defense, they have been not great all year long outside of Kyle Hamilton. Nobody else, the cornerbacks have been awful. Jamar Chase is about to cook. And I think if Lamar Jackson doesn't come with his lunch pail, they could lose this game for sure. It's a mediocre defense versus a mediocre offense, so really interesting to see how that kind of shakes out there, guys. Now we go on the flip side of the ball here with the Baltimore Ravens on offense. Lamar Jackson has not impressed me at all this year. Neither has Derrick Henry, who's been flat out floundering. Not looking good. Not looking fast, just looking a little bit old, in my opinion. We'll put this in nickel, right? Man, this defense is so bad for the Bengals. Look at all these, reds. Reds all over the place. They're banged up, playing with backups. It's like, I want to pick the Bengals, but, how the hell can I pick the Bengals versus this freaking any team? Their defense is so bad, and if there's ever a spot for this offense to get right with Zay Flowers and Hopkins and Henry, it's here. So, I'm begrudgingly taking the Baltimore Ravens here. I think it's going to be a lowish scoring game. I'm going to go 24-17. The Baltimore Ravens get it done. I think it's going to be a sloppy game. We could see some turnovers, but whoever turns the ball over more is going to lose. I think the Ravens, if they can't score 30 versus this defense, I don't know what to say, man. Oh, man. God, this freaking Bengals defense is so ass. But they haven't been looking good. They look terrible versus the Jets. Maybe they just came out flat. But they got to win this game versus division rival. Maybe they'll get up for the division game. So you know what? Let's go. I'm switching my score. 28-23. That's going to be the score here in this game. Baltimore Ravens win 28-23. And the Bengals, give me the Bengals in the +7 points, guys. I don't think the Ravens can cover here in this spot. They just haven't been playing good football at all. Lamar Jackson looks pretty mediocre. I don't know if he's 100%. Derrick Henry looks slow, hitting the holes. He's not really running people over like he used to and breaking through tackles as much as he did when he was younger. From what I've seen so far this season, maybe they'll get things right. This is the spot, if there ever was one, to get this offense cooking, guys. All right, there it is. There's my picks with scores for the Thanksgiving games, Week 13. The rest of the picks will come out later this week. I'm trying to get everything done today so I can relax with the family. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Thank you guys so much, and please do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. I'm bringing you guys great picks and bets every single week. Thank you guys. Peace.